Hello, beautiful winners of life. Welcome back to my channel, Mission to the Soul. Today is a little bit different from the other week's content that I usually do. Today, what I want to share with you guys is something that I learned from the book that I've been reading lately, which I still read, by the way, The Artist's Way. So I got inspired to work on this book by Doechii. You know, Doechii, like the very famous pop star now. She just won the Grammy, I think this year as the best rapper, best rapper of Grammys 2025. So I felt very inspired by her journey and how she worked on this book to, like gain back her power as an artist. And if you haven't known yet, I'm also an artist. I'm an actor. And I feel like this would be important for me as I start off my career, as I want to do big things out of this, as it's something that speaks to my heart. So I thought, why not give it a try? So this is something like an artist discovery journey for me, working on this book, but as an actor specifically. So let's run through some of the things, some of the insights that I had working in week one. This is all about week one content, all right? So the first thing that is very striking, which is it's found through doing the morning pages. So many of you might have heard of the morning pages before, some might have not, so I'm gonna tell you one more time. Morning pages are basically a journaling practice where you wake up every single morning and then you write down 3 pages full of your three. It's like 3 pages of streams of consciousness, right? Meaning whatever you think in your head, you put them on a piece of paper, right? And then you write down 3 things. And it could be something like, oh, I feel so sleepy right now. Oh, the weather today is so cold. That's what I do all the time. But then sometimes you get some of the intuitive insight from yourself that's very worthy on this artist creative recovery journey. So that's what I found. Something that I found out in my morning pages was that I became so much more honest with my words. And this is something very important because I feel like for the longest time I tended to have that urge to lie about my words without even knowing about it or even aware of it. So a lot of the things that I put down, I believe, were actually subconscious, from my subconscious mind, and I think it's what meant to be discovered through doing this practice, morning pages as well, right? So like by saying being honest with my words means being brutally honest with myself. Whatever I wrote down, it wasn't all about trying to encourage myself to do this and that, but it was also like I was writing down all of the shady things that I thought about myself that I never thought consciously that I thought, right? These very devil, but I wouldn't call that one. I wouldn't want to call it or label it like that as well. But basically, some of the very negative things that I think about myself, which are not usually aware of, in my day-to-day life. Sometimes they pass through my mind, and then it's just stuck somewhere in there, and it somehow manifests in the way that I live my life, how I approach my life and stuff like that. So that's the one thing that I found out. Also, as an actor, this is something that I put on a piece of paper as well, which is going to LA is not the only option for me to break through. So for me, I always feel that connection to go to Hollywood, like the land of movies and cinema and stuff like that, because I love cinema. It's something that I want to contribute in my life, but also at the same time, I feel like I sometimes get limited by the idea that in order to break out as an actor, I gotta fly to LA, right? So then I also heard a lot of stories of people just flying to LA without being prepared, and then the sad truth, the reality is that a lot of people, a lot of actors who go to LA become broke and they never get their dreams come true. So that's why I put it down like that. Doesn't mean that I will not go to LA. I'll definitely go to LA one day, but it also means that it doesn't have to be the only option. You know what I mean? What else? Oh, through the morning pages, I also found out that I became so much more aware of the need from somewhere within me that seek validation from other people. But I think it's something that has happened a lot in my life, and I noticed this pattern. I noticed this ever since I was young, all the way up to now. Even I would sometimes want to be validated by someone's opinions or someone's ability to give me that opportunity that could probably change my life or something like that. So by doing the morning journal, I just became so much more aware of it, of the pattern, and I suddenly know who is it, right? Who it is that I'm trying to get validation from. And then by being aware of it, it gives me the power to detach from it, to know that I don't need anybody's validation because I am complete and I'm just as good as I am. And maybe I'm not perfect, maybe I'm not the most perfect actor, but I'm still growing and I'm doing my best. And I don't need anyone to validate me when I know that I'm still learning and growing. Okay? So I think that's actually very beneficial for my journey as an artist, because sometimes, it's just that these voices, these censor in our mind that keep saying that, oh, you're not good enough because you don't get the validation from A or you don't get the validation from B. But at the end of the day, you are the one who should give yourself that validation, and nobody could really fulfill yourself by giving you or handing you that validation. And if you depend on somebody's validation, it's just that you're gonna become very fragile, right? What else did I find out in my morning pages? Whoa. Oh yeah, it's like the war in my mind. It's funny because, like I said, I never thought of me as somebody who thinks a lot of negative things until I did the morning pages, which means that I wrote down so many evil negative thoughts that I had, and then on the other side that parts of me, it's like, like on one side it's like somebody saying, oh, you cannot do it, oh, you suck at this, oh, you're never gonna make it, you're never gonna succeed. And then there's the other side which says, no, you've done your best, no, you can do this, no, you're still young, no, you still have time, no, if you put it all in it, you are the one who, life is what you make of it, so it's like a wave, it's like a war in my mind. And it's funny because I've become, of course, like so much more aware of holy shoot, that's what I've been thinking in my mind a lot of the times. And oh, and then this is a good meditation that I want to share, which I wrote down in my morning page of the first week as well. Either way is a risk, so you're going to have to choose the one that serves you the most. Either you jump off the cliff or you stay stuck, which is so true. Because I feel like every choice that we make in life, the choice to go after your dream can be a very big risk, right? You're very likely gonna fail. For me as an actor, when I decide to jump off the cliff, I'm likely gonna get rejection, I'm likely gonna fail again and again and again. But, so that is the risk. But obviously I believe that no matter how many times I fail, I will be able to bounce back from it. But then also, if you really think about it, let's say in my position as well, as an actor, if I decide to not go after my dream, right? If I decide to like take a corporate job that I completely hate, then the risk of it is time will pass by, and the risk of it is that I will get so unhappy with my life trying to chase after just money or chase after safe choice. So like I said again, every decision that you make, every choice that you make is a risk. So you're gonna have to choose the one that serves your higher purpose, right? And oh, okay. Oh yeah, this is good. So in writing down my thoughts and becoming so much more authentic, whatever I think, right? First of all, of course, I don't. So in doing this practice, what I found was that I got my mind out of the vortex of gaslighting myself that everything is good and that everything is perfect, right? So then in doing that, it helped me understand what I truly value in life, right? So it means that I don't let I become more aware of the expectations that I have for certain people. Let's say certain people who are gonna come and give me this and that opportunity, or certain people who are gonna come and like love me, whatever, or there's so much more than that I can't recall right now. So in doing this, I become more aware of what I actually truly value and what I don't. So it means that I will be able to refocus, right? To redirect my energy, my time into something that would serve me rather than something that I expect would serve me, which obviously don't. And something that I have already mentioned before, right? The negative narratives in my mind that I become so much more aware of, which in the book, Julia framed it as the blurts, right? Blurts are basically the negative thoughts, the doubts, the sabotaging thoughts that come up when you when you think or read like a positive affirmation. Let's say an affirmation that I pick is, I'm capable of becoming a great actor, right? And blurts are something that come up as like, oh, but you're not all that. Oh, but you're never gonna be good enough. But because Tom said this thing to you. Tom said that you're not a good actor at all and that you suck at what you do. So then you're not an actor, right? And of course, it goes a lot broader than that, right? There are many examples. So that's what I mean by saying blurt. And I was so surprised and also shocked by how the blurts came up. Usually I would love, doing affirmations, but I always try to like just focus on the positive affirmation without being aware of like the side negative self-talks that I have surrounding that affirmation, which is crucial because it obviously will gonna get stuck in my head, right? And then whatever's stuck in our belief system is really going to continue to like lead us the way. You don't want to be led by such a pattern, right? You want to reinforce the positive affirmations that will take you to where you want to be, right? So then in order to do that, it's not just important to, it's not only just important to repeat this affirmation, but it's also important to become aware of what that sends remind of you, right? Keep saying, and also, I always thought of myself as a very calm person in my real life, right? So then doing morning pages kind of made me feel so grounded in a way that that suddenly some rage, some anger, it was very intense kind of emotions came up as I write down the words, which I never thought about. So I suddenly started to write down some words, right, or some ideas that I have about somebody, and it made me so angry, and it manifested in me as like a rage, and I started to write down really hard and quickly, and yeah, something like that, right? But that is the morning pages part. I think it's also worth mentioning to talk about the task, like the weekly task. So here in week 1, I got to find out who my creative monsters are, and also who are the people in my Hall of Champions. So creative monsters are those who shame my ability as an artist, who traumatized me in some way, who don't believe in me, and who basically do whatever they do that somehow stop me from striving as an artist, right? Hall of Champions is the opposite, right? It's where people who support me, where people who love my talent, where people who really even give me the positive reinforcement or validations that I need to thrive in my career, right? So for my creative monsters, I put down 3 people. The first person is Go Jump. Okay, so in Vietnam, basically when I was in primary school, probably I was in grade 2. So she was one of my teachers, right? And the reason why I put her down as my creative monster was that she traumatized me. Back in the days, I was so traumatized whenever she hit me in the hand, and it was really hard. It was very painful. And back at the time in Vietnam, there is a tradition that teachers would educate students by hitting them, right? Whenever they make a mistake, or mostly whenever they make a mistake or misbehave. I was never somebody who misbehaved, right? So the only mistakes that I did was that I made mistakes about a math problem, or I made a mistake about my literature, like my writing, or I wrote words, like ugly words, right? Not by like literally ugly words by the handwriting. So then this teacher, she hit me so hard, and I was so painful, right, that it literally made me not want to go to school for like a whole year, right? I was so scared of going to school because of this one person, and by doing that, she also made me feel so embarrassed because it was like being caught out, like right in front of the class, and then get beaten up, or being not like beaten up, but like being hit by like a ruler, and she even made a joke about it. It was as if something that she enjoyed doing, right? And I was just a little boy back then, so how could somebody do that to a child and expect it to be normal? No child should be treated that way. Isn't it better to treat children with love and care, and it's a way of nurturing, right? Rather than hating them and traumatizing them, like scarring them even. So that's my first creative monster. My second creative monster was my teacher, like my music teacher from 7th grade. I am grateful. I'm both grateful and also very resentful of her, because I'm grateful for her because she offered me the opportunity to stand on stage and to sing because she recognized my voice. But the thing is, I was a very shy kid. I'm not saying that it's completely her fault whatsoever as well. But I was just a little kid, so obviously I could feel scared and shy, and I didn't know what I could expect standing on stage. So when she offered me that opportunity, I denied. I was like, no, I'm scared. I probably won't be able to do it. But if she is a teacher who can nurture me, right? Or if she really want me to shine, couldn't she just like really like become like she could have been more sympathetic. She could have been more patient with me because I was just a child, right? And maybe she could find a way to convince me to go on stage and then perform. But the truth is, what she did was being so uncomfortable of me denying the opportunity. She was like, why the hell did you not take this opportunity? Like, what's wrong with you? So in a way, it made me feel shameful about the decision to not stand on stage and sing, right? Even though I wanted to do that, I was just scared because I just didn't know, and I never really experienced anything like that, right? Standing on stage in front of like hundreds of students and teachers at school. It was never something that I got to experience. So yeah, I feel like whatever. I feel like it's just that teacher, she could have supported me more rather than doing that. My last creative block is my cousin, right? One of my cousins. He would constantly make me feel left out, especially whenever I have a creative idea for our play. He would go out and like play with some other dude, with some other neighbors, right? Other kids in the neighborhood, right? And I always felt left out. And I thought there was something wrong with my creativity, my creative ideas, right? Because for me it was so brilliant, but then he left me completely, right? Okay, I want to show you this. So also in thinking and writing down, doing the journaling of a creative monster, there's also a task where I was taught to draw a picture of that creative monster. So this is, you can see, this is what I drew, right? So this is the teacher in my 2nd grade who I said somehow scarred me and traumatized me back in school, right? So this is her with a lot of like many rulers on her hand and stuff like that, and then I just do like I just drew like a cross over her as well, right? And but then for my champions, my Hall of Champions, all right, so two people in my Hall of Champions were both acting coaches when I was in Thailand, right? So they were among the first people who helped train me as an actor, right? And it gave me the confidence to continue on this journey as an artist, and the positive reinforcement that they gave me, like the care, they were really sympathetic. Let's say whenever I wasn't able to like give out the performance that I would be proud of, they would always find a way to help me walk past my limitation, right? Or break through my limitation as an artist. And it's just so important for me, of course, as an actor, right? It helped me grow, it helped me become more confident in my ability. And then also the last person I put in my Hall of Champion is my grandfather. I feel like he has always been so supportive of me, and in whatever I did, he always supported me, right, on my journey, whether it's my my passion for learning language or English, or my desire to go to Australia, and so much more. Like, he's always that person who supported me no matter what, right? Like a nurturing grandfather, right? Which I'm very grateful for. So that's my Hall of Champion. What else was in the task? Okay, yeah, just the last one. The last task is about finding 5 other lives. What it means is that you write down the 5 lives that you could have, right? If there is no limitation, if you could have like another life, who would you want to be? Right? What is your dream, basically? So that is what this task is about, right? Finding the 5 other lives that you can have. So let me find it. Just a moment. All right. There you go. So the 5 other lives that I put down were I want to open a restaurant or a bakery in Europe. Right? The other one is I want to be a global singer or a pop star. The third life is I want to leave everything behind and go up on the Himalayas and become a monk. The fourth life I put down was I want to be a supermodel. And obviously, the last one I put down is I want to be a Hollywood actor, right? So the purpose of doing this is to really reconnect you with whatever it is that that speaks to your heart, right? Because so oftentimes we think that these dreams that we have are so unrealistic, are so stupid, right? That we just want to forget about them, and it happens because of social conditioning, right? We're constantly being told, whether it's our family. My phone just literally ran out of storage, but okay, let's go back right to the topic. I was talking about the 5 other lives thing, right? So I was saying that so oftentimes we have a lot of dreams that we can do in this lifetime, but we often forget about them because we're conditioned, like I said, by societies or family or people in our life that kind of bomb us on the idea that that they are not, that these dreams are not realistic, right? So the purpose of doing this is to reconnect you back to whatever it is that spark in your heart, right? Whatever it is that you feel like your heart is told to do. So by saying 5 other lifetimes, obviously that's not something that you have to wait until like another life in order to do. The purpose, I think, right, which Julia also said, is just that to help us become aware of where our true passion lies, right? Our true passion, the passion, the dreams that that are often like that often sink into oblivion, right? Now we're starting to give them the spotlight, okay? And also in doing this, it would allow us to take the little steps towards our goals, towards our, these dreams that we have. So hopefully we would be able to accomplish them at the end of the day, right? At the end of our life. I feel like when you do this practice, when you put down the 5 other lives that you could have, perhaps you can also highlight one life that you truly want to make out of this life. Let's say for me, it would be to be a Hollywood actor, right? So I would highlight it, and it's something that I've constantly been taking action towards as well. It gives you a little bit more focus, right? And then for the other things, right, you can make them your hobby. Let's say start as like a hobby. For example, if I put down one of my life's is to be a pop star, to be a global singer, right? Then I can do karaoke like every other night. I could learn to play the guitar and then sing, and then just take the little steps to become more confident as a singer. Or if I want to open like a restaurant, a bakery in Europe, then the first step is to learn how to bake. I've been learning how to make cookies, and I make the best cookies ever. Okay, maybe I'm bragging, but yeah, it's just that you can take the actions towards these dreams of yours. So that will be it for today's video. I hope that in a way, especially for those who are on your journey, who are doing the artist ways, who are on your artist way journey as well, I hope that it will be insightful for you and it will be able to help you in some way. And I hope that you would be able to make the most out of your life. And if your true dream is to be an artist, whoever it might be, an actor, singer, dancer, a comedian, right? A painter, a poet, I hope and I believe that you can do it and you can make it in this life. So good luck on that. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to announce that my book, The Key to a Fulfilling Life, is now officially launched on Amazon.com. So you can find in this book all things spirituality, manifestation, art, and philosophy, and it will give you the key to unlock your true potential and to live the life, a fulfilling life that you are worthy of living. So this book is not just a book. It is also a journal with deep and insightful questions, prompts for you to reflect on yourself and to find out the areas of your life that you still need to work on in order to unblock, expand, and manifest the life of your dreams. So if this is something that you're interested in, you can check it out through the link that I put in the description box below. Thank you so much and enjoy today's video.